Welcome everyone to another draft at twitch.tv/darkest_mage. This is Michael Jacob, and first pack we have Spectre Mortality, Tanglespan Lookout, Utopia Sprawl. I think are the three best cards. I don't particularly like this card. So Tanglespan Lookout I think is the best card. Works in a lot of variety of strategies. Works like green-blue curses. Works in green-black because you have like Shatter the Oath. Even works just with green itself. Green-white auras also works. Second pick, Rare's missing. So Tough Cookie is the best card. Candy Grapple is also good, but it's hard to compete with Tough Cookie at uncommon-wise. It's gotta be one of the better cards in this set. Plus, it's also green for Tanglespan Lookout, continuing to cut off green. Might actually table Garruk's Uprising. So here we have the rare missing and the out of set card missing. I don't know what the proper name of it is. So here we've got Agatha's Champion or Graceful Takedown. Pretty similar cards. This works with like Season of Growth if we end up getting it. Also works, single synergizes pretty well. Tanglespan Lookout, because you tend to have auras in your deck. Agatha's Champion is like kind of a mopey card. We'll take the Agatha's Champion. Fourth pick, we have Root Rider Fawn or Greta. I think they're both excellent cards. Greta gives us food for the Tough Cookie and food for Agatha's Champion. Root Rider Fawn is just in general a great card. We did pass some black cards, but there's really not much else open. Looks like blue is not open. I mean, we don't, not for sure that blue isn't open, but there's no blue cards in this pack. I think it's gonna be hard to pass up the Greta here. Passing Rider Fawns certainly sucks, but I think the potential is there to get green-black going. Here we have Brave the Wilds or Evolving Wilds. This is a land slot. This is a spell slot. Well, it's like half a spell slot a lot of the time. This has some synergies, especially if you ended up getting one of the rare creature lands. Brave the Wilds is excellent with those. I think at the end of the day, I think if I already had one Evolving Wilds, I would take the Brave the Wilds, but considering I don't have one yet, I think it makes sense. Apprentice's Folly, if you're not familiar with this card, the whole joke with this is that you're supposed to play it, clone one of your creatures. Step 2 happens, you clone another one of your creatures, and then you bargain it away. You get to just keep the reflections. So that is the very funny joke with that card. Although we are pretty solidly green, so I don't know when I want to take a blue-red card. Welcome to Sweet Tooth is one of the best cards in the set. And we have insano cards like Greta and Tough Cookie to synergize even more insanely with it. So this is a great pickup. Here we've got Shatter the Oath. I think Shatter the Oath and Not Dead After All are both pretty good in this deck. Not Dead After All works really well with Tough Cookie, Tanglespan Lookout, and Greta. Shatter the Oath costs 5 mana. But it also works really well with Tanglespan Lookout. Double black versus single black. I think Not Dead After All is easier to come back later. So I think the first Shatter the Oath is good, but if I already had a Shatter the Oath, I would take a Not Dead After All. So here we got Curse the Werefox versus Beanstalk Worm. Curse the Werefox works with Tanglespan Lookout, works with Agatha's Champion. Garruk's Uprising did in fact table. Don't have a lot to synergize with it, but there are cream puffs that we might end up getting. Also, Ferocious Werefox Works with that one. If this was best of 3, the spider food is clearly correct. But here, I think there's a good chance we play one of these 2 cards if we end up going into green-white. I'll take the unassuming sage because I think that one has risen a little bit in my book. It's still like pretty bad. But I was forced to play it in one of the drafts. One of the sealeds, I think. And it turned out a little bit better than I thought it would. Here we have Howling Galefang. There's Garruk, but we're not red. There's Curse the Werefox. Even though Curse the Werefox works pretty well with Tangle Span Lookout and, you know, Agatha's Champion, I think it's pretty replaceable as an effect. I think having a 4-power creature for perhaps Garruk's Uprising is something to consider. There's also, yeah, you can also say that maybe Garruk is a better pick here because we're not actually black. It's certainly a reasonable thing. You can just take Torch the Tower here and just say we're not actually black. That seems reasonable too. I don't think we're giving up much in that pack regardless. Here's Picnic Ruiner. Picnic Ruiner is pretty awesome. I've had several videos, my last 2 videos I put up are about Picnic Ruiner decks. Picnic Ruiner is a pretty insane card. So here we've got Torch the Tower versus Gingerbread Hunter. I think Gingerbread Hunter is better. We have the Evolving Wild, so like splashing black and or just having red in your deck is perfectly fine. So we'll take the Gingerbread Hunter. Deck is turning out pretty nicely here. Yeah, the Shadow of the Oath is probably not getting played. You can probably splash black for the Greta. I think Greta is going to be a great card in this deck. We have a lot of food. We have a lot of food production. So I think Greta is just going to be a fine card to play off of 1 swamp. Might end up actually playing this Garruk's Uprising, so we can just go in and put it back in there. You don't need that many 4-drop. You need 5 or 6 minimum. It's not that hard to get that many. Especially for green-red. Here we have Hearth Elemental, Daredevil, Blue Rider Fawn, Candy Trail. All fantastic cards. Candy Trail is probably the worst of these. Hearth Elemental is pretty good. It works with Garruk's Uprising. I am a big fan of Minecart Daredevil, especially with Picnic Ruiner. If you take the Hearth Elemental, I think we'll just take the Hearth Elemental and just be a Garruk's Uprising deck. Here we have Ferocious Werefox or Frantic Firebolt. With Tangle Span Lookout and Garruk's Uprising in the mix, I think I'm more inclined to take the Ferocious Werefox. It's also pretty good with Picnic Ruiner, giving that thing Double Strike and Trample. Here we've got... Best card is Aquatic Alchemist or Baronati. We're not going to really consider playing either of them. Here we are not going to be playing any of these either. Potential, we play Commune with Nature, so we'll take that one. Feel like our Gruff Triplets, we might play it. So here we have Crystal Grotto versus Red Tooth Genealogist. I really like... I also Johann, which is like clearly the best card in the pack. Is it a better splash than Greta? It might be. I'm gonna take the Grotto. I think taking Johann there is respectable. Howling Galefang. There's Prism here, but we don't actually think I don't think we actually need Prism. There's Hatching Plans. I don't think we're gonna be playing this. Sweet Tooth Witch is a pretty good card. Wow, that's a really late Blue Rider Fawn. Goblin Bombardment. It's like not great in this deck. We have no token making. We have no rat catchers. There's really nothing else in the back. There isn't a card we could play in any color, basically. Or like maybe Return from the Wilds, basically. I don't think Goblin Bombardment is actually at its best in this deck. We could take High Fey Negotiator. Maybe the best card in the pack. Another Picnic Ruiner or Candy Grapple. I think Picnic Ruiner is probably where it's at. There's also Hamlet Glutton. Here we have Flick a Coin or Brave the Wilds. I think they're both reasonable choices. Build this late. Cut in. Seems like a pretty strong card. Season of Growth. Or Minecart Daredevil. So Season of Growth, we have 2 Picnic Ruiners, a Curse of the Werefox, and 3 Ferocious, and a cut-in. Seems like there's more than enough to make Season of Growth good. 3 mana 4/2 is like not terrible in this deck either. Works really well with Picnic Ruiner on both sides. I'm gonna take the Season of Growth. I think the Minecart Daredevil was a reasonable choice. And there's so many Johans in this draft. It's kind of crazy. Is Johan better than Greta in this deck? It's pretty good. Another Ferocious Werefox or a Frantic Firebolt. I mean, the Firefox with the Season of Growths, right? So. I don't think we're going to be playing any of these. Skewer Slinger is probably the best card. Anti-flying is something we definitely need in our deck. Yeah, Johan might be better than Greta. Although, I guess Gingerbread Hunter is also black. So it's like maybe Gingerbread Hunter plus Greta is better than Johan. Oh, we have 2 Johans, though. A 3 mana 4/2 is not actually bad in this deck either. With 2 Picnic Ruiners. And a cut-in. So you have to decide whether we're going to play blue or black. I mean, I guess Gingerbread Hunter has to make it so that black is the right call, right? I don't think playing another island, like playing an island and playing the Johans, that sounds ridiculous to me. I think that's just too ridiculous. I don't think we actually need it. This deck looks pretty good to me. I mean, we do have Crystal Grotto, though, which makes Johan a bit better. And I can consider cutting maybe 1 Ferocious Werefox for a Johan. But the thing is, I don't really want to put an island in the mana base. Let's keep it like this. I like the Skewer Slinger. I don't know if Skewer Slinger is better than Leaping Ambush in this deck, actually. Leaping Ambush has synergies with Garruk's, sometimes with Garruk's Uprising, synergy with Season of Growth. I've been kind of happy just having a 1 mana trick that often counters Candy Grapple. So but Skewer Slinger is just a creature that I can play early. That's a great recipient for counters from Picnic Ruiner. I'm gonna keep it in there. It's also a great aura holder for Ferocious Werefox. It becoming basically a 3/4 trample with the monstrous aura. But I've actually been relatively impressed by Skewer Slingers. They're really good at blocking everything. Reasonable hand. I think if we didn't have the Season of Growth, I would probably play the Johann. But I think with Season of Growth, we've got enough power to not worry about it. Plus, Earth Elemental helps a little bit in keeping the card flow coming. Greta does too. We know what we want. We just want a 2-drop, right? There we go. I normally don't. I'm not a huge fan of playing Grotto on turn 1. Unless you know what you're looking for, but I know what I'm looking for, so. Hello, Ferocious Werefox. Sounds good. Do we play the Coward's Way? Or do we play the Aggro Way? I think we play Gingerbread Hunter and pass. Because they are Barrow and Audi, I think they have the initiative. We have some gas in our hand. Just need time to actually cash all this stuff in. Concerned about them just having a Shatter the Oath and attacking us. So that's kind of been my baseline in the format, that like, if you think your opponent has Shatter the Oath, you should probably, or hasn't had the opportunity to play it, you should probably give them an opportunity to play it. As you can see, if I had not kept my creature back, that could have been a disastrous turn. Skewer Slinger? I like it. Yep. As I was talking about in deck building, when we got that Skewer Slinger, having flying blockers, I'm a huge fan of. Usually Grabby Giant is in the deck, but fortunately, that was not an option for us. Brave the Wilds, do we want that? It seems like a free 3/3, so yeah, sure. So what we can do here is we can card change on this fellow, draw a card. And then add a green. Cast with Bargain on ask, do we want to sacrifice our food? I think we do. Go for Forest. Go ahead and play it. And while it is suspicious, we are just passing it. Mm-hmm. What do you got for me? Got me. I remember we can't just guard change here. Can't guard change there because we would just replace the role we already had on our creature. Howling Gale thing? So 4/4 like what we want? It's not really what we want. 4/4 haste. We're losing this flyer, right? Maybe we need to find a removal spell for the flyer. I mean, obviously we'd rather not draw a land, but there's certainly a case to be made that next turn we get to scry 2, so like maybe just 4/4 haste plus this. Plus we get to scry 2 looking for a removal spell for this. Maybe that's a better call. Just correct this to gain 3. That's not a bad idea. Not against it. Because on board, we were only going to go to like 4 or 5, depending on what they have, right? So like maybe 4/4 haste is aggressive enough that it would have been a fine draw. Not sure I'm actually going to have mana open these next 2 turns, so we might as well play. It's a pretty decent draw. We can play this. Seems like a reasonable draw. Now, do we attack with the Root Rider Fawn? Don't believe so. I don't think so. I think it's probably just a free block. I don't plan on torching that thing anyway. I think I like torching my own mountain here. Draws a card and kills the hunter. Too slow, I think. Because the puny stack had no legal target, it was actually countered. So it doesn't even go on an adventure. Plus we drew a card of Season of Growth and got to scry 1. It is problematic. So we're facing down lethal next turn. We need to find an answer to it. Do we want to play Picnic Ruin or just scry 1? And then Garruk's Uprising? 5, 6, 7, 8. It gives us 3 mana. So for 3 mana, we can have... Not enough for Greta. Gives us for Curse the Werefox as an out. Which I think is our only out in our deck. No. Unfortunate. Unfortunate game. Yeah, they needed a 3-power haste flyer there. They really get to kill us. That was, I feel like that was a winnable game. If we had drawn that Howling Gale thing, I wonder if we would have won that game. I think we might have. I think we actually might have won that game. No, you don't main deck Spider Food in your best of 1 games. This deck would have loved a Grabby Giant over one of those Ferocious Werefoxes. Definitely needed some flying defense. Baronauti is certainly an enemy not to be trifled with. Godwick's first duel. The play Ferocious Werefox pre-combat. Give us a 4-power creature for our Picnic Ruiner. They might have a Spell Stutter. Is it reasonable to play the Mountain to play around Spell Stutter? So, holding on the Evolving Wilds. So if I draw Greta, it's bad. But I think outside of that, it's playing around Spell Stutter, right? So, I think Spell Stutter is a reasonable card to have in their deck. We'll get punished if we draw 1 of 2 cards. If we draw exactly Swamp or we draw Greta, we'll get punished. Although Greta is potentially not a full punish, because we might just want to play cut it anyways. They just play the giant, we cut in and put the counter on the ruiner and attack out. Get the jump block. Or go to 1 and block this. Going to 1 and go out blocking that is probably their play. Yeah, I can bring them to 1. I know bringing them to 1 really helps. It's better than not, I guess. Oh, they can't block this. They go to 0 because of this 1/1 attacking. That's right. So they have to jump this and take 5. So it's probably better to grotto here, looking for a spell rather than search for a swamp, because I've already got a black mana. I mean, it kind of depends if you want to, like, you know, if I play Evolving Wilds later, it shovels the Scry back in, so it depends how long we think the game's gonna last. I think I just want to make sure I get a spell next turn. That's a pretty good one. I mean, I guess they can just candy grapple our 2 creatures down. That would have been problematic. It looks like they didn't have it. Even a torch the tower. They had another permanent to they could have actually sacrificed Godwick? No, they couldn't have. Because I think step 3 has to actually resolve in order for the clone effect to happen. You can't just respond to the step 3 by torching the tower. Because then you'll still have the copy your next spell effect, but nothing will have happened yet. I've scryed the top a decent amount. Is that good or bad? Turn to Root Rider Fawn, see if we can, I guess bait out a removal spell, but at the end of the day, it's not going to do anything for us. Welcome to Sweet Tooth. I think I actually want to play my Tanglespan Lookout here. It's debatable that Welcome to Sweet Tooth is better because like Sweet Tooth could potentially make a 4-power creature. Sigur's Uprising draws a card. Case to be made that maybe Welcome to Sweet Tooth is a better play because I have 4 Were Foxes to draw. There's a chance Garruk's Uprising actually draws a card from the Sweet Tooth. Pretty good. looks like they probably have a torch the tower. You also want to divide your counters so if they kill your target, that you still get to go into Adventureland. So, another reason to have done that. Next turn, we're probably going to put the 2 counters on the human token. Though, there's a case to be made that maybe we just go all out and put it on the Picnic Ruiner, but I really want my Garruk's Uprising to draw a card. But it might draw a card anyway because we can put Curse the Werefox on our Root Rider Fawn. They're not even give us the option to choose. Fair enough. Interesting they chose to keep the Catapult and not kill a 3/5 Root Rider Fawn. No blocks here. So our plan is we're going to try to put 2 counters on this human token. If it resolves, we have a 4/4. That's great. We have a 4/4. That's great. So now we can... I guess it's better to tap the red mana, gets you draw Greta. A rat out could prevent us from drawing a card, but it looks like they didn't have it. Maybe they'll have a rat out. It looks like they might. Mm-hmm. Frenzy. Reasonable. Okay. Did it torch the tower? Another one? That's quite a deck they have, if that's what their deck is. Okay. That is quite a graveyard. Okay. Probably just want to stop the bleeding here. Enemy has only this with no food, so push to 3/2. We'll kill this. We go to 5. We're not going to attack. Our deck is like, you know, mostly 2-for-1s at this point, right? Wait, why does this have haste? Oh, because this is a card in exile with an adventure. So Torch the Towered adventure cards actually count. I had no idea. That's actually sick. Okay. Huh. Oh, that Sentinel is even insane, more insane than I thought it was. That one green 3/4 is worded the same way, that rare. It says return a creature you control in exile to your hand. That's even better. Sugar Rush is like the best possible draw they could have had, right? Oh, okay. Sure. Like, wait. Okay. I mean... Enemies gotta be pretty disappointed in losing a game where this happened. Yeah, I mean, the basic... But the problem they had was that they had an 0/4 and a 3/1 and a Grizzly Bear to pair with 4 Terminates, or 5 Terminates, right? 5 Terminates in their graveyard. And it just like... It turns out a Grizzly Bear and a 3/1 insufficient even to defeat my most medium of cards. Thanks for gifting a sub, Greasemonger C. Or getting a gift into sub. Appreciate that. So, do we want to use our Brave the Wilds on turn 1? I think maybe you need to find it. Oh. The problem with casting this now is we're sacking a 3/3. Because we'll get a 3/3 later if we wait. I'm gonna hold on to it. Brave is not until end of turn. That would be accurate. That's not great for us. Okie dokie. I mean, yeah, I guess that's a thing that happened. I could have Brave the Wilds there, but I didn't really have a permanent I wanted to sack. Okay. I can't just keep on taking damage from that, so I just have to assume they have nothing. So we need to deal with a flyer. Do I want to sack this food to get a... Do I want to sack 3... Do I want to pay 3 life to get a 3/3? I think I do. I could have also sacked a card. 3 life or a card. Guess we lose. I guess we lose. You're dead? Not the correct answer. Probably should have killed the double striker. If anything at all, he could have just passed. Whoops. We should have lost that one. Yeah, I mean, our flyers have certainly been our weakness. It's a reason to run Leaping Ambush. I've talked about it before. Maybe we can run Leaping Ambush over something. I don't hate this card. I've liked it more and more. It's like really good against black. It blocks Baron Naughty and counters Candy Grapple most of the time. I definitely don't hate the card. Yeah, I think cutting a Fox for 1 is a reasonable thing to do, but I could also just cut a land. Because this deck has 20 mana. This deck has 20 mana, and this deck I don't think needs 20 mana. So I think playing 1 over a land is actually reasonable as well. Skewer Slinger is not your most favorite card. I mean, the only games that are close are the ones where our opponent has a flyer. And I just need early defense to set up my inevitable late game. You're not going to find a better defensive creature than Skewer Slinger in the format, really. It's really good on blocking. But yeah, I've started enjoying Skewer Slinger and Leaping Ambush a lot more. Leaping Ambush also counters stuff like that Threadbind click. It actually just counters it. Because it has to target a tapped creature. If the target is not tapped, then it doesn't go on an adventure. We'll go for a swamp here. Although going for forest could also be reasonable. I think we're going to go for a swamp in case we draw the Greta. Or we can draw Gingerbread Hunter. We'll do it main phase because we're not a psycho. I'm one of those people that waste time to decide into turn as if it'll ever impact your opponent's play. Play Crystal Grotto here because we know what we want. We want to draw a 2 or a 3. We can still play Torch the Tower if we want to. Definitely don't want to land. Crystal Grotto's been really, really impressive. Really enjoyed playing it. Dark Uprising, a reasonable card here. Hopefully they don't Oofy it away. Okay, I was scared that was Oofy. Interesting top deck. For sure. Let's play this one for now. Fine. Maybe we shouldn't cut Ferocious Werefox. Maybe Howling Gale Thing is the cut instead of Ferocious Werefox. Because we don't have any of the Bakery Raid cards in our deck. Because we don't have Bakery Raid in our deck, there's a good possibility that maybe Howling Gale Thing is worse than one of these. Sleeping Ambush would be a pretty good draw if we actually get it. Certainly better than a land. Yep. Okay. Do I want the other one? Oh, I just took out a land instead of this. That's right. Do I want another one? 6 mana draw 2. 5/4. I'm not sure I do. I've already got one in my hand. Actually looking for maybe something a little bit like we just boarded this in. So they have Candy Grapple. -3/-3. We Leaping Ambush in response. I guess it wouldn't do much. We Ferocious Werefox in response. It still has 7 power on this. If they sack a thing to give a -5/-5. Just double block. How greedy do we want to be here? I probably just need to let it happen. If they're letting it happen, I think I should let it happen. Obviously, we could have used Ferocious Werefox to save our creature, but I don't think it's actually necessary for us to win this game. Case to be made to hold on to the forest in case of Hopeless Nightmare. Definitely a case to be made for that. Did they have a Candy Grapple the whole time? They did. Good thing we let it happen. Actually won the game as we let it happen. We didn't play greedy. Really smart play. Let's scry 1 first. Before we draw a card. Don't want that one. I wonder, does it auto stack these, you think? It does, nice. That's a reasonable draw. If it didn't, you can go into your gameplay and auto order triggered abilities. You can deselect this to stack them the way you want. Otherwise, it'll auto do it for you. What are we gonna do here? We can play Greta, draw a card. Also scry 1. I don't hate doing this first. Scry 1, see what's on top of our deck, go from there. Single Spin Lookout. While a fine draw, it is not the best draw. Our best draw is probably Earth Elemental. Put this on the bottom. Would have been a draw 3. Yeah, he's pretty mediocre at this point. He's better than a land, but not by much. Let's go ahead and Animate our food. They can double block their Ferocious Werefox, then not take any trample. They should have probably double blocked it not to take 2 fewer damage. We're well past the point of playing around anything, so there's no reason not to double block. Reasonable draw. Spectre of Mortality for -3. That'd be good here. Like, it still wouldn't win in the game, but it'd be good. Reasonable draw. Not wanting forced to sacrifice our food to draw cards. It's pretty obvious at Gingerbread Hunter if I attack here. If they don't block our creature, we'll just hit our own creature to draw a card. The value train never ends. We had a lot of food for our Sweet Tooth to give +1/+1 counters to our creatures. Leaping Ambush won us the game there. So that was an excellent choice. I did comment in drafting that I actually liked Leaping Ambush a lot. As a counter to Candy Grapple, and it came up that game. The exact game we boarded it in, we drew Leaping Ambush, and our opponent had Candy Grapple, and we won because of it. It's also great at double blocking Hamlet Glutton. But sometimes you don't even lose a creature when you double block, because they put like a, you know, they assign a creature with 4 toughness as the first blocker, and then you can give it +3 defense, and it doesn't die at all. Yeah, I mean, Leaping Ambush, it does most of what Royal Treatment does. Sometimes even better, because it untaps your creature, which Royal Treatment doesn't, and Royal Treatment's an uncommon. I think Leaping Ambush is underestimated. So what do we want to do here? Now that I have my 4th land, it's reasonable to play Crystal Grotto, because now I know what I'm looking for. It's why I didn't play it the turn 1, if you're wondering. Because I didn't know whether I needed a 4th land or a spell. So here, our opponent is black. So I don't think I want to attack with this. So let's go ahead and just play our Season of Growth here. Actually, I probably should have Crystal Grotto there, because I'm already gonna scry one next turn. So maybe I should have actually played the Crystal Grotto there. Maybe I may be vomiting my scry next turn. We'll see. If I play Tough Cookie and I don't like what I see, I can always scry again afterwards. Earth Elemental. Not a terrible card. But is it what we're looking for? I mean, our next couple of turns are kind of already mapped out, so I guess this is like a fine 6-drop, so I guess this is fine to keep. Yep. Yep. Definitely don't want that. Ferocious Werefox. Is it weird that maybe we don't want this? Is there any way we don't want this? Because we need a 6th land still. I think I just want to empty my hand for Earth Elemental, and that's not the card I'm looking for. I think it's far more likely they like play cut in here and like or creature plus candy grapple or what have you, and then I'm gonna be behind. And I want to draw a 1-mana combat trick. Although yeah, they basically played a Necrotal. 3/3 Necrotal. Cost them a card, but definitely don't want that. Mm-hmm. Kill a rat, or play Root Rider Fawn, gain 3. Well, how does this cost less? Instant sorcery or have an adventure in a graveyard. Killing a rat is like not horrendous. It is a bargain thing. Root Rider Fawn is probably better as a Blanche Redcap Thief. Mountain. Mountain lets us kill a rat and play this, but I think it's far more likely we're going to want to draw a spell. Okay. Sack of food here, getting in dangerous life total scenario. The Skewer Slinger. Yeah, we ended up killing the rat anyway, that is right. I think I like playing Skewer Slinger and Gingerbread Hunter here. Brave the Wilds is a 3/3, but I don't think we need it. I don't think leaving open Gingerbread Hunter that doesn't sound correct to me. I want to scry an additional 1. And it's possible they don't attack here, although trading their Edgewall pack for a Skewer Slinger is maybe something they're interested in doing. Playing Elemental instead. Elemental might cost less later. And I think mana is certainly going to be a concern. It is also larger, although perhaps not relevant here. Very good. Might even say that's best possible draw. I guess I don't want to put any counters on the Gingerbread Hunter. -2/-2 being later is also a concern. Yeah, because we could have killed a Sweet Tooth Witch for it. Absolutely. You are correct. I mean, there is also the thing with that maybe our opponent has a Hopeless Nightmare in their deck, right? Or Ariet's Whisper, or the Spellscorn Coven. right? And so this is actually safer to be over here than it is, than this would be in play. I mean, there's definitely advantages to both. Are we at the point where we can attack? I don't think so. Oh, what a draw that is. The auto tapper tapping our double forest wasn't great, but that's okay. I did have fun that match. I cackled. So far, Leaping Ambush has been better than the land every game. Yeah. Obviously, Leaping Ambush is much more main deckable when you have Season of Growth in your deck, but the thing is, Season of Growth I think is really good. Leaping Ambush is also good against Cut-In. Interesting. I think the answer is we put Brave the Wilds back. And shuffle it back in with Evolving Wilds turn 1. I think that's the actual answer. Because I'd rather have this in my deck than a mountain, which is what I'd be searching for anyway. That's concerning. That means our opponent plans on quick studying or flicker coining, right? That was pretty okay for us. So I think making a bigger creature is a reasonable line here. Gonna make our Root Rider Fawns truly undefeatable. If they have the fairy, they're gonna be very unhappy they didn't kill my creature there. See, we put this. See, look at this, chat. We put this back into our deck as I said. It's better than a mountain, and look what we did. Look what happened. So smart. I think it's used on the grotto, right? If they bounce the grotto with Balluna's Gatekeeper, I'd rather have this, right? I don't need the black mana because I have no way to get this back. Oh, I guess I have Gingerbread Hunter in my deck. Forgot about that one. Maybe an error in judgment. And if they have the Threadbind click here, Leaping Ambush will untap it. So not only countering their spell, but also... Oh, that doesn't work. Puts it on the top or bottom of their library. I guess I need to draw an answer to their 6/6. Dufonzu carriers, good point. I think Balloonist Gatekeeper is a more likely. We drew the swamp anyway, so. I think we just play 5 mana 4/4. I feel like I might be getting gotten with Expel the Interlopers, but I can't beat that card anyway, so if they have it, I lose. Okay. Not a bad card here. Does that work? Oh, it doesn't work. We don't have. They didn't exile this thing. That's too bad. So the problem is, if I attack with this Root Rider Fawn, I bring them to 1 instead of 2. Or is this lethal? This is lethal. This is safer. This is lethal. They have actual nothing. What could they have? They could have another Desperate Parry. I left open blue, which is incredibly suspicious. Which indicates Ice Out. Is their card, but they can't play it. I could, in theory, Leaping Ambush my Fawn, but that wouldn't save my Werefox. That's lethal anyway. Yeah, I think the auto tap leveled up in Ice Hub is they still had Princess Takes Flight in. Yep. That sounds correct. Auto tapper is fine. It just tends to leave open Crystal Grotto more often than it should. The finals. See if we can fulfill our destiny as a 7-win deck. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Season of Growth. I think and Tangle Span Lookout. Huge fan of those. Have we even drawn a card of Tangle Span Lookout yet? I'm not sure we have. Today, I mean, today has just been Season of Growth's day. We definitely did not want to draw that. How reasonable is this draw? It's not what we need, right? It's like a totally reasonable card, however, we just need a 4th land. Yeah, it's wild. It's like, you know, the things that target your creatures aren't bad cards. Now, how many targets do you need for Season of Growth? The thing is, there are so many more targets than you think in your deck. There are so many more. Because a lot of the removal spells also can not only like backdoor or target your own creatures, like we demonstrated earlier, we gingerbread hunted our own creature to draw a card. But, let's see, do we need a forest? It's like not horrible, but like kind of not what we're looking for. It's not horrible, but not what we're looking for. It's not horrible. What we wanted is that torch the tower we put on the damn bottom. Yeah, stuff like Witch's Mark and Cut In and Shatter the Oath are all removal spells that can target that kill your opponent's creatures and coincidentally target your own. You can also cycle Rat out on your own creature. Curse of the Werefox also, you know, coincidentally targets your own creature. Graceful Takedown's great as well. You know, a lot like the Tuna Red 4/2. This shuffles our deck, which is actually not bad, as it puts our torch back in our deck. Yeah, I think even if you don't like it, you can bargain it away. And I think 2-drop hits a slot that people don't normally put a bunch of. Oh, there's also like Conceited Witch, right? Conceited Witch is the 2 and a black 2/3 menace. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't hit our Werefoxes. That is no joke. So we can play Root Rider Fawn plus Fox. That actually seems good here. Getting a 4/4 in play is like not horrible. And I think also a reasonable play, especially I think Galefang is maybe the better play. If we think our opponent has nothing. And we're gonna draw a land next turn. This might have haste later, which is the advantage of doing it later. I think getting to the board is also important. Let's just get to the board. Not actually what we're looking for. I need something that blocks flyers. We have plenty of things that target in our deck. We're not going to run out of those. I need like Gingerbread Hunter or Torch the Tower or Skewer Slinger. I need something that blocks flyers. Leaping Ambush. Greta. Not a horrible draw. Not a horrible draw. You've got to be joking. Not horrible, but it'll gain us 3 life on the way back down. Cost us mana, which obviously we can't. We can ill afford at this juncture. Didn't attack first, doesn't matter because they get a counter on their creature. Things are looking grim, chat. Things are looking grim. Yeah, I mean, we just got rared. What can we do? We got rared. Okay. We got rared. Turns out 1 mana terminate 6/6s. Pretty awesome. Well, that could have gone better. Yeah, unfortunately, I had duplicated sounds again because I need to fix that somehow. OBS has an issue where the separated audio channels that I have don't work in some spots. It's a known issue. It's why it's in beta. It's a known issue for a couple months. But it requires me to flip a switch to fix it. Yeah, and I did not flip a switch this time because it's random when I need to do it. Not a great hand, but I don't think we can mulligan it. It doesn't have Tangle Span Lookout or Season of Growth. But we definitely don't want to draw a land. I mean, I guess actually maybe we did. But still, I think we have plenty of lands in our deck. Plus we have Root Rider Fawn, so I guess we wanted to draw Root Rider Fawn. Brave the Wilds, not excellent here. But it is probably going to be a 3/3. We can sack this R to get a 3/3. May not want to, though, but may want to save the aura to... Might want to save the aura to champion away or bargain away our aura for 4/4 to punch. Interesting. Well, now we definitely want to just do this now. More rares. A 4/6 means they're gonna need a 5-mana spell or a rare to kill it. So good luck. Good luck with my cards, friends. That was a good draw. They have some rares here. Normally quite good rares. Let's see if they have Expel the Interlopers here to kill us. Oh, they took our forest. You made fun of the Skewer Slinger, now it's coming for you. It's dead. Two creatures or Greta plus Sleeping Ambush? Maybe we just play Root Rider Fawn here. They Gundrop Poisoner it. We Ferocious Werefox in response. We go to 6, we untap. I don't have anything to bargain away. So if I play Root Rider Fawn and Ferocious Werefox on top of it, then we have something to bargain away. Guild the 3/2. Plus, it also gives us the 5th mana. No, playing the Ruiner, tapping out and playing the Ruiner does not help, as it doesn't let us bargain next turn. It also just dies a Gundrop Poisoner. Oh yeah, we could Greta and counter. That's probably the best line. You're right. Counter. This plus counter is the right call. You're right. Didn't think about that one. Definitely, that was the best call for sure. Good call. I think all lines were good. I think all lines were good. Is that lethal? It is. You made fun of Skewer Slinger, now what's coming for you. Our opponent had a lot of rares and did not expect to get run over by Skewer Slinger, I'll tell you that. Skewer Slinger was excellent this draft. It performed admirably. Definitely the type of deck you wanted in. So, yeah, this deck was great. I think our inclusion of Leaping Ambush was fantastic. It was definitely the right choice over the 17th land. This deck didn't need to have 17 lands with Brave the Wilds and 2 Rider Fawns. So even when we only play 16 lands, we're still playing 19 mana, which is more than enough. Just the right amount for these types of decks too. Everything was great. Unfortunately, Tanglespan Lookout never got to shine because it didn't draw a single card. But Season of Growth drew tons of cards. And Welcome to Sweet Tooth, I think maybe was only there for 1 game, which is unfortunate. Whereas Welcome to Sweet Tooth's a great card too. Tough Cookie almost always died, but it was still good that it died. It always like ate a Terminate and gained 3 life, so that was nice. I got this champion didn't do much either. Not its fault, I don't think. It's just not how the game's played out. Ferocious Werefox overperformed, or maybe performed just as expected. It was pretty good. Greta was great. Definitely worth splashing for, along with Gingerbread Hunter over the Johans, I think. Skewer Slinger was good. Leaping Ambush was good. Garruk's Uprising was fine. It won us a couple games, right? It like stalled in our hand once or twice, but it won us a couple of games as well, giving all of our creatures trample against that white-blue player. We won because of it. Although I think they maybe could have played better to beat us there. But yeah, I love these types of decks. Usually, you'll know to go into this archetype when you can like if you table a Season of Growth, it's like pretty easy to do this. It's like, obviously Pigment Runners are amazing and their uncommons are not always going to have them. Red Green is generally pretty open, but these could be the dwarves, the 3 mana 4/2s that you can pay 2 to get +2/+1. You know, I mean, it's a common version, but it is something that you could do. Yeah, I mean, obviously this deck has a lot of Insano uncommons, right? I mean, look at this. Like, look. I mean, our deck is all uncommons. I think another good thing we did in the draft is we took Evolving Wilds over Brave the Wilds, and that ended up being excellent. The Evolving Wilds was very good for us, much better than a Brave the Wilds would have been. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, comment. And I'm Michael Jacob at twitch.tv/Jarkus_mage signing off. Thanks everybody for watching.